Hello and welcome to another episode of Lotek Health. Let ourselves translate expert knowledge. Today is Wasabi Walnut What's Hurting My Tummy Wednesday, and it's another emergency. You know what? It's not actually an emergency because I found the tape. Hey, Bryn! I found that orange-pink tape. I can't see colors real well. Pink, I think. It's pink. When I first brought you to my little dungeon apartment and I couldn't find that tape, do you remember? I found it. Will you believe it? Or, here it is. I must prove it. This tape right here. This is the first tape many healthcare professionals use to tape an endotracheal tube to your face. Because we still have a pretty severe problem, almost like a plague of death ravaging this country. In fact, it is. And we can point our fingers and blame that for not preparing us well, not closing down fast enough. Oops, I'm at 2%. Shoot. Not making sure people were taken care of beforehand. But the biggest problem with all of that is... where's the charger? Oh, it's here. Biggest problem with all of that blame shifting and finger pointing, that somebody didn't take care of somebody else, somebody didn't tell you that you were supposed to be washing your hands, brushing your teeth every day, is kind of stupid. It doesn't make sense. You knew well before the COVID came that you were unhealthy, and this is really showing that you can't just skirt by and have healthcare professionals give you permission to go back to your terrible lifestyle. And I'm swaying back and forth. I gotta plug you in, so we're going for a walk. The trickiest issue with our crisis of healthcare providership is that idea of just giving permission to go back to that lifestyle. We think people should be given free healthcare, but they have been giving free healthcare before. They've been given many free opportunities, very cheap, to take care of yourself, to go out, to get some sun. I'm getting some sun right now. It might be through, what is it? Yeah, it's through some glass, so it's blocking some of the ultraviolet, protecting my eyes with this as well, because it's cleaning day. It's so nice to be back. Anyways, you have the opportunity to is that plugged in? Is it charging? It's plugged it in. What are you doing? Hold up. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Are both of those connected to the light switch? What?
Yep.
What a mess.
It's right here.
It's okay. There we go. Down to 1%. Usually you have like either the bottom or the top is a full connected circuit with just a plug-in, and only one of them is with a light switch. But this isn't the case. You have to know that. You have to be flexible and adapt. And this second, third, fourth wave shows we just haven't adapted. Many Americans saw this opportunity to kind of go into hiding, go into a way of their lifestyle that isn't supportive of life. It's supportive of death. It's a daily practice of overconsumption, which, if I start to get super tribal about it, I get a little mad, because being a big person is hard on your body. Every pound of body fat is another 7,000 miles of blood vessels to innervate and keep alive and perfuse. So that's why blood pressure tends to be higher in big people. They tend to be shorter of breath because they can't get enough oxygen. They're long of body, not short of breath, and it's a long way to go. It has nothing to do with how I feel emotionally about them, but as it becomes more tribalistic, I think that not only are they doing themselves a health disservice, but they're taking more food than necessary. They're eating more of our rations than are appropriate. They're over-consuming calories that are not necessary for their daily metabolic activity. And I get a little contemptuous, especially when we think of healthcare and how a large portion of our sick and unwell are bigger people who need a ventilator that is not quite set up well, taped to their face, which is already not the best canvas to tape, paint, or do anything well with. It's got a lot of adipose tissue, which is squishy and doesn't carve well. You can't draw on it, and you can't suture it well. It's just kind of floppy. And that is not tone. That is not a life. It is the idea of a life. It is kind of encapsulated life. It's a storage unit for a life. And our machines don't work well. Long term, it's life support. And it starts to verge on a weird paradigm of Wall-E, where we're riding around on scooters attached to ventilators because we don't have the diaphragm or the ability to pump oxygen into our body to perfuse all that extra tissue. 3,000 a day dying of COVID. And we're surprised. I'm becoming less and less surprised as we find out more about this disease, how it targets the cells that create inflammation, how freak out, stress, panic, the connection of that bidirectional neurotransmission of anxiety, shortness of breath go hand in hand, along with the inflammatory cytokine storm of COVID hijacking your T cells and just minimizing your macrophages. Who needs macrophages when you can just smother it with gravy? And with that, I leave you. Because on this Wasabi Walnut, it's fucking Thursday.
You already said Wednesday, honey.
I said Wednesday twice.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah, that's you. It's you ringing. Well, on the Tell the Thursday, we're time traveling. That's right. See you tomorrow, and forgive my foul mouth Friday. I can't forget what day it is tomorrow. Thank you.